Oh, fuck. Oh, man,
I
now
just
we're
got
gonna have
some
another
really
one.
annoying guy
Alright,
live
guys,
streaming.
I'm gonna have
Is it
to...
autoplayed?
I am going to have to retweet this. Can you please retweet this Pokemon stream? So here we go. Yeah, this fucking thing, it stopped. I mean, I didn't really get that much in here, so... okay, let's see. Man.
Oh, we're live again. We're live again.
We're live? No, we are? Let me see.
Yeah, we're live again.
Oh, man, okay. Let me take a look then, because I don't see us being live. I mean, I trust that we are live. Alright, here. I'm going to send this out.
Yeah, I know we're live.
Yeah, here. So... Man, see, this is what happens when you forget to press in, the, whatever that's called. The, speedify thing. So here we go. New link to Pokemon stream. And let me tag in all the people who are there.
Lev's a big fan of Speedify. You could almost say he's a Speedify.
That's a good one. So, Alexandra, you've never played Pokemon before, right?
I'm not.
What do you think of the aesthetic so far here? Like the graphics that you're seeing, the very primitive looking ones.
I dig it. Like I said, most of like the video games in my youth sort of were on that level.
Alright, one more thing. Let me just put in the screen.
Remember?
Here we go. Okay, I tweeted it out.
I feel like I'm selling my soul on it is, but remember to subscribe on this lull period if you're one of the 4 people who isn't already subscribed. So yeah.
Okay, well now let's finally name Paris. We are live. That was my fault. I should have turned on the Speedify thing before, and I did not. I failed to do that. That is completely my fault. Cucked by YouTube is right. And I'm not sure why it's not why this screen is... Oh, because I gotta... There we go. Okay, so we are back live right now, and I think, let's see. Okay, good. I'm gonna continue doing this. So, what do you want me to name this mushroom thing? Which I consider it to be, like, bad luck now, this fucking mushroom character, because, as soon as I caught him, our stream ended. So, and the idea is, Alexandra, you're new here. You have pick of the litter. What do you want to name this guy?
Garlic.
Alright, let's go with garlic.
Yes.
Now, why garlic?
I know, because I was thinking of like fly acrylic, and then garlic. Right?
Now
Don't make that face, myself. Stop it!
I'm making that face. I'm
Apparently,
making that
Pokemon
face.
is trending worldwide.
Garlic's too good for this little bug creature. He ended the stream. He should be called AIDS of Cancer or something. Paris ended the stream. He ended the stream. This is death. No, I'm just... Why are you giving me the middle finger? This name's too good for it. It's not a bad name. It's too good for this little fella. That's what I'm saying.
How about Garlic Jr., which is a Dragon Ball Z reference for those who don't know? I don't know.
Garlic's fine. I just don't think it should be cool for this person.
Have you watched Dragon Ball Z back in the day?
Who are you talking to?
Alexandra, I'm talking to you. Have you played?
Hell no.
No, you don't like Dragon Ball Z?
That's for boys.
Well, aren't you like a tomboy?
Yeah, that's for boys.
Not at all. No way.
What did you watch back in the day? Powderpuff Girls?
Oh god, utter shit, I'm sure. No, a lot of, like, old Looney Tunes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mostly that. But no, I wasn't really allowed that much television, to be honest. Like, I didn't have that kind of childhood.
Based.
Based?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I think, yeah, it's true. Like, kids, I don't know.
Tom and Jerry is the fucking best, by the way. Fucking love me some Tom and Jerry. There aren't many cartoons that come close to Tom and Jerry for me. It's just simple, good fucking slapstick. It's just fucking, I don't know, maybe this is my 1950s brain, but it's just, is there anything that really comes close to Tom and Jerry? I can't think of too much, like maybe some early SpongeBob, but it's just that classic go-to if you want something slapstick and punchy. It's just so creative and so hasty with the animation. Fucking good shit. Don't think much can beat it. Fucking love Tom and Jerry.
Well, now they have the new Tom and Jerry movie, which
No,
no.
Lev. We're gonna pretend that doesn't exist. No.
I like how we had a cream of dog who had one of those trailers for the Tom and Jerry movie, and he just cut out the part where it said Tom and Jerry are coming, and that's it.
Tom and Jerry are coming.
Yes, exactly. Now,
Coming together. Tom and Jerry.
yeah, there's definitely some Rule 34 out there. Now, Alexandra, when it comes to your recent ketamine treatment, you had the last dose. Can you tell us a little bit about? Oh my!
I mean, at this point, it's just maintenance. Like the bulk of it is over. Like any further treatment I go to is just going to be basically like they're fucking expensive. I pay $475 for every dose. So I'm fucking glad it worked. Yeah, I'm really glad it worked, and I'm glad it seems to be like holding up, because it's not something I can keep doing forever.
Now, when you say it worked, can you be a little bit more specific? What exactly occurred?
I mean, I don't want to get too personal, but like it's helped me sort of get a bit of distance between like things that that happened to me and sort of just how, like, you know, it's hard to explain, but like the physical symptoms of like depression and anxiety are by far less pronounced now post-treatment. Like pre-treatment, they were very difficult to manage. Medication was extremely ineffective against it. I actually had to drop out of college again because my mental health was so bad, and I just didn't know what to do. And then I got a friend recommended the treatment to me, and I had enough money, thank God. So yeah, it was the correct course of action for me. I don't think anything else would have helped as much as the ketamine treatment has.
It's a shame that like you're in New York and stuff, because it's just like you could just, if you were to go to Scotland, even it would be ketamine treatment. It's just like you can tell it's from New York. It's what was 170 for like ketamine, just like Scotland. Yeah, 175 for ketamine. It would just be like 475.
Yeah.
You could just get like, you can get like probably like a gram of ketamine for like cheap in
No,
Scotland or something. Just go to Scotland.
On the street?
Yeah, just on the street. Yeah.
No, because like that's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. Also, they do it. They do it
dealer though.
And Pennsylvania. So yeah,
it's
like,
stronger probably.
Yeah, probably stronger.
No, it's pure. It's dosed correctly. They can time it correctly. There's, you know, you have a doctor and a nurse in the room with you. You know, there's
doctor and a nurse there.
Oh yeah. Well, they don't say that, and then you're on your own. I have my stuffed bunny with me. Hold on. Ugh.
You know what they don't do anymore? They don't do like, you remember in Animaniacs? They when they had the nurse, they said like, "Hello, nurse." You know, that's gone out the window. What are you doing with that rabbit?
No, that's not PC at all. Like, you can't fetishize nurses.
Hello, nurse.
They're
heroes. They used to have a really nice outfit too, the nurses. You know, they had like the little hats and the little, you know.
Yeah.
It was.
This is again. This is what I covered in my video on how medical dramas have evolved.
Yeah, nurses.
Yeah, you can't fetishize nurses anymore. Although a lot of them, I hear in their personal lives. A lot of them have been busted for doing stuff. So.
You know, your bunny kind of looks like
coma patients.
Your bunny kind of looks like what's going on the screen over here, right?
Huh?
You see, your bunny kind of looks like what's going on the screen.
Here, can my bunny be in your Pokemon game?
Yeah, of course he can.
Is there a bunny Pokemon?
Yes.
Tons.
And it's been fucking. I remember that's the one with fucking. I don't know. Is
but
that one of the
nurses? Oh, go ahead, myself.
I remember like one of the Pokemon had like a big long 4chan green text about sexualizing the rabbit Pokemon, I think. I forget it. It's probably.
Oh, that was from Zoophilia? Zootopia?
Oh,
yeah, because that was with the bunny, yeah.
Right, it wasn't from the Pokemon.
No, but the nurses thing is so weird how that, like, becomes... Like, that becomes, like, a form of over-socialization, because it's like... I remember when the dancing TikTok nurses thing, the phenomenon came about. It's like this weird, like, there was this one nurse I remember that, like, became famous for, like, having the mask thing, and she would, like, fucking dox people that questioned her, and it was just, like, it's this really weird, it's like what Agamben talked about, how, in a way, we have to suspend life at the behest of not, like, like an authoritarian, well, we do live in an authoritarian state, but, like, not from, like, an overt, like, you know, a czar coming along and shoving a commissar coming along and shoving a Kalashnikov in your face. It's more of, like, you consent to giving up so much because of this impersonal force of scientism and, like, expertism and, like, the giving away of your agency to the hands of, like, the expert class, the PMCs, the private managerial people.
Oh, yeah.
Professional managerial people. And nurses very much were, like, the public face of, like, this hypochondriac medical, the medicalization of life, and how nurses were, like, you're putting us at risk because, like, I don't know, you want to hug your grandmother again. Something, like, it's just, I don't know. I know that nurses, they do have a shitty job, and it is a thankless job, but I feel like there were so many of them, like this one particular one, I really should bring her up.
Oh, look, it's Scum-Sucking Slimer.
Oh, there you go, right in time. But it is really weird, like, this sort of phenomenon that happened around the nurses and how, I don't know, it's just, to me, there was something very, again, to quote, you know, where is it? Right here. To quote Camille Paglia, there's something very chthonic about how the nurses, like, they're the ones that were, like, they were, like, the public face of over-socialization, for lack of a better term. There's something weird about it. There's some, I don't know. I don't want to, like, bash people, like, there are a lot of good doctors. It's just, like, I don't know, like...
It's just the problem is that with the nurses, right, is the visible face of nurses has been completely destroyed by two things. It's that annoying TikTok thing, and it's the fact that they've been, like, the government are telling you to praise these people, despite the fact that the government clearly does not care about nurses in any way, shape, or form.
But, and the thing is...
Also, there's, like, kind of a meme about how, like, the meanest girls in, like, in high school grow up to become nurses.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. For multiple reasons, I don't believe some of this.
Wait, do you think that some nurses would intentionally inflict pain upon people and pretend to be?
It's happened.
It's happened.
Not to say all of them, but they're...
Say this in every kind of industry and every sort of job on Earth. But in the caretaking, in caretaking roles in particular, unfortunately, there are quite a few people who gravitate towards them because they would be around vulnerable people.
Yeah.
Is that called Munchausen syndrome by proxy?
Well, no, that's if you have a connection.
That's not about, like, medical sadism. You know,
yeah, there is...
Purposefully inserting catheters in the, you know, upside down and shit, and just mothering babies, and
there was this one Italian nurse that killed like 80 old people.
Yeah, no, she'd have a bad day, so she'd fucking kill somebody, you know?
Yeah, she'd give them the wrong drugs.
Maybe that's the classic, you know, phrase from, you know, certain old folks when they talk about, like, oh, I don't trust these doctors. You know, like, maybe there's something to it.
Like Grandpa Simpson, the nurses are taking my money. Like,
exactly.
But it, like, the abuse mostly happens in long-term care facilities and old folks' homes.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, we're fucked. Like, I don't know if any of us, like, well, it'd be nice to probably, at a certain stage, it's like, I think the whole, did anyone see Midsommar? Where, like, fucking dive off a cliff, face first. You know, they like turn 72 or something, and that's it. Boom. Like, fuck it. You know, isn't that better than, like, slowly being tortured to death? And
I think it depends where you're at in life. It depends.
I mean, yeah, I guess like if you're wealthy enough and you can afford like
No, it's not just about being
That's whether you're at
wealthy.
the
I don't
beginning
know,
of the
euthanasia
torture
is
or at the
kinda
end of the
slippery
torture.
No, it's not just about being
It's a slippery
wealthy.
slope,
By the
though.
way, before we continue this, we have 2 fossils in front of us here, and I want to lean in on the chat to tell me which of these fossils should I take. So we have the Helix Fossil and we have the Dome Fossil. So I want you guys to also input on this. Which one do you think is worth it for me to take? Because this one, the Helix Fossil, it turns into a Ammonite, so it's like a snail guy, and this one turns into Kabuto, which is, how do you describe what a Kabuto is? Okay, Helix. So, Raziu, Helix, obviously.
Which is the one that looks like the really creepy one? Because there's the one with like the really the one that's basically like a snail with the
Yeah, that's
face.
Helix. That's Helix.
Helix.
So,
Helix.
although I gotta say, I do like the design of Kabutops, but everybody's saying Helix. So by everybody, I mean 2 people. Oh, Wong Kar-wai. Oh man, see, Wong Kar-wai goes back a long way with BTR's history. So, although Lazizo says Helix, obviously, and Razio says Helix, but you know what? I'm gonna go with Wong Kar-wai's suggestion because he's a bro. Not that you guys are not bros, but I've known Wong Kar-wai longer here, so I'm just gonna go for Dome. Sorry, it's what I gotta do. Anyway.
Contrarian.
Yeah.
Contrarian fossil thing.
Typical. But anyways, I mean, I don't know.
That doesn't matter.
It's hard to say.
No, but think of all the families, like, especially Jewish and Italian families, who would never dream, in most cases, of sending their, elderly... Yeah. It just isn't done. But I think, like, in the society that, like, in more of a WASP society,
Atomized,
where there's more of, like, a spirit of independence, I guess. I'm not sure how you would phrase it. But in that WASPish society, it is what it is. What could I say? In the WASPish society, people want to be more independent, and I think there's a colder relationship between the parents and the kids.
Mm.
I mean, Alexandra, I don't want to, like, just you say whatever you want to say, whatever, but, like, what would you say your home situation was like as far as the kind of culture your family had?
Well, I mean, sort of... So, I grew up in an irreligious Jewish household, and my grandmother actually lived with us for a while when she got older. She lost her apartment, and so it was me, my mom, my grandma, my little brother and sister, all living together. My grandma would take, my brother and sister to school. We'd all eat together. She did end up in a care home eventually, but only after a long time, and she only for a few years. And my grandparents are like very wealthy, sort of vampire Jews. They
God,
forever in their castle, and so God knows they're like they hook themselves up to these like bariatric machines or whatever the fuck they do to just keep on trucking into like.
God.
It's
what about working out? Like, do they?
They just don't want it. Like, they don't want to release the inheritance. They don't.
But
So you're gonna get a pretty sweet plum with that inheritance, or?
I have no idea. It's very mysterious right now. Like, everything's very up in the air.
Wait, you're Jewish, Alexandra?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know this.
Yeah. No, 100%.
We gotta have the counter. How many Jews are?
How many
BTR?
Jews are there? Oh my God. So then you grew. So you said you grew up in a secular house, or
Mostly, like my dad would take me to shul on the high holidays, and I went to Hebrew school. But it was more of a cultural than a religious indoctrination. I definitely like was given the choice between like what I wanted to, how kind of far I wanted to go with it. I was a vegetarian for many years, so like keeping kosher really wasn't even an issue. Yeah, like it was nice. It was nice. It's sort of like bohemian, but also like, it was stable. I would say I grew up in a very stable household. Also mixed, because my stepfather,
What should I name the snake? This is for the chat as well. If any of you guys have an idea, go on, Alexandra.
Oh yeah, my stepfather is Cuban, so the father of my little brother and sister was Catholic.
Yeah,
Name the snake Yakub.
Yeah,
no,
name mistake, Yakub. Yeah.
You know what I want to name him? This is so horrible. I wanted to name him Snake Thing.
Snake Thing. Alabama Black Snake.
Snake.
Yeah,
that's not gonna fit in Smooth of Salty. It has to be shorter than that. Let's see.
Yakub, come on.
Yeah, okay, Yakub. Let's do it, Yakub.
It's topical.
Guys, I've got a fun fact for you here. Did you know Ekans, right? Super interesting fact is actually snake backwards. For just in case anyone didn't know that, I thought I'd fill you guys.
I was shocked.
Yeah, I thought I'd fill you guys in for that one. There you go.
So back to Alexandria. So you went to Shul, right? What was Shul like?
Shul was at the Brotherhood Synagogue, which is in what neighborhood is it in? It's like I think it's like near Chelsea. And it was really nice because they had a lot of Jewish people from Ethiopia there. Like the rabbi's wife was an Ethiopian Jew, so there was a lot of representation. And it was conservative. So conservative is kind of like the halfway point between Reform Judaism,
Ben Shapiro basically.
Yeah, and like Orthodox Judaism. Ben Shapiro is like a very conservative Jew. Like
very.
He's like Hasidim almost, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No,
I don't know. I mean, look at Abby and her bare feet.
Hasidim we did not congregate with. We did not know them. We didn't want to know them. Like,
oh my God,
on their own fucking planet. Like, you will not find any people on Earth who dislike Hasidim more than like non-Hasidic Jews.
No, I know. You know who dislikes Hasidim more than non-Hasidic Jews? Other Hasidim.
Oh yeah. That is true.
Man.
Yeah, that is very true. Also, Lev, have you been to Israel?
No, not yet. I know I didn't even do the birthright thing, and it's too late now. But
Lev, you didn't grow up Jewish, though.
I got fucking bullied. I got bullied on birth.
I did not grow up Jewish. I mean, since we
Wait,
were
Alexandria, you went to Israel?
Yeah, I'm birthright.
Oh wow.
Oh, it was awful. And I don't recommend it.
Now, why was it awful? What was awful?
Okay, actually, I shouldn't say I don't recommend it because I've had friends who've gone and had a great time, but it was my group. It was very like I don't know, it's kind of psychotic. Like just a lot of like bad behavior, a lot of people like just doing drugs. It was like an older group, and like I don't know, there was just like a lot of like stupid fighting. We were all on a bus together most of the time.
That was like that one Artie Shafir story where he like threw a basketball at the teacher or whatever, or the supervisor. Like he talked about going on that trip to Israel as like a higher class Jew, and like it wasn't a very good act though, I must say. Like Artie Shafir can be kind of an asshole. So
I saw Ari Shafir live at Skankfest multiple times, and a really fun thing that happened at Skankfest. Oh, Princess can learn. No, I don't want to teach it to... Actually, I should. Actually, it's a good idea. So, at Skankfest, there was a scene where there was Ari Shafir, and then there was... Man, what's his name? He has, like, all these piercings on his body. He was... Hold on. He's on Luis J. Gomez's show. I'm trying to remember what his name is. I feel so bad not having his name right, so I'm going to look it up. So, let's see. Luis J. Gomez... Puerto Rican Rattlesnake. Let's see. So Luis J. Gomez podcast, because he's the co-host, and I just want to get his name right. Oh, Zach Amico. There we go. So Zach Amico, I could even show you a picture of what Zach Amico looks like. It would be fun to have him on the show too if he'd be interested. He had all these. I mean, this image right here. This should tell you a bit about his style. But this is Zach Amico over here. Do you see it in the chat?
Oh my God.
Yes. So Zach Amico, he does this thing at Skankfest every year where he goes up on stage, and this is for the Naked Roast, where comedians strip their clothes off and roast each other while naked. Anyway.
Why?
Why not? Well, Zach Amico, he was at the roast, and the first thing he did is that he took a staple gun and he had people give him dollar bills.
Oh, is he a wrestling fan?
Is he a glorified stripper?
Yes, he's a huge wrestling fan.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that explains it, because that's I think, who was the first one to use a staple gun? New Jack. New Jack was the first, but then it became, in CZW after ECW, became a stipulation match where the only way to win, it's called a $13 bill match, where like you have to like whoever staples the most dollar bills to their opponent wins the match after like 5 minutes or whatever. So that's like a stipulate. Let's see, like a theme in hardcore wrestling is that you take a bill from the crowd and you take a staple gun.
Yeah.
That's a theme from hardcore wrestling.
Yes, that is.
Is that not just prostitution? Like glorified
Well,
prostitution?
it's kind of like
like a stripper, but like
Exactly.
you know,
There has
like-
We
been
make
women who have done
elaborate rituals to see the bodies of men naked. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
This-
true. That's very true.
We have to do you have to glorify it so you don't have to say no homo? Is that like the whatever?
Well,
Well, you have to make it violent. You have to make
comedians
it macho.
roasting each other naked. Lev, has there ever been some kind of like allegations after Skankfest? I mean, is there kind of like a Louis C.K. thing going on?
No. Actually, Louis C.K. was at Skankfest in
Oh,
a
wow.
surprise. I unfortunately missed that particular part of it, but he was there. But anyway, when Zach Amico did that whole thing afterwards, what he did was he put a rat trap, not just a mouse trap, but a
Nice.
rat trap.
That
on
is another
his
thing from
penis.
wrestling, yeah.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Wow.
I
Oh,
trap
on his
is
dick?
penis.
Oh god.
That's
Yeah.
hot. It's really hot.
I've seen I remember the one match, was it I think it was like Tournament of Death 4, JC Bailey got it on his tongue like a rat trap. Like Necro Butcher put a rat trap under his tongue and he's like, oh god. But there was one match where it was like a whole table of like 100 rat traps and like someone got power bombed onto it. Like it was hilarious.
But with Ari Shafir, since we were talking about him,
Yeah,
in the
Ari
beginning,
Shaffir and being
with
Jewish.
Ari Shafir, there was a memorable moment where Ari took a piss in the cup and then threw the piss at Zach Amico.
Oh my god.
And Ari also
Oh.
he also did another fun thing. Let's see if I can find that shirt.
But
So-
a fun thing, what chucking
I
piss
think
at someone.
for some reason there's like this thing with like in New York, I guess, like between like Italian dudes being with Jewish women.
Mm.
I mean, I think like maybe because it's like the ultimate like union of opposites. It's like the
What?
forbidden fruit sort of deal for us Italians.
Yes. No, but I think there's a lot in common with Italian mothers, Jewish
We
mothers
do
and stuff.
actually, yeah. So
But by the
Yeah,
way, this
Way
shirt.
more so than many other groups. I don't think it's so
Yeah.
much opposites as it sort of complementary.
By the way, Ari Shafir, he created this shirt, and this is Louis J. Gomez, one of the hosts of Skankfest, and this is
Oh
the
my
shirt
God.
that Ari Shafir created.
Is that for real? Like, is he really a pedophile?
No, it's a complete joke. But that's the whole idea.
Well, you
behind
never know. I
Skankfest.
don't
So wearing something like that just makes you look like a paedophile, though.
Yeah,
Like I don't know the
it's-
person in that
it's
picture. It
weird.
makes the guy wearing it look like a paedophile. So I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it, but Skankfest has the kind of energy where stuff like that, it's expected and it's forgiven. Like it's all a big joke, and people are much more thick-skinned there than they are, let's say, at other alternative comedy venues. I see a really dark energy from a lot of those alt comic people.
Oh
even-
yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I would assume so. It's like kind of the whole point. Like, I don't know how many times your fucking soccer coach needs to fuck you up the ass to make you want to become a stand-up comedian, but it's got to be at least once,
Oh boy. It's yeah, the modern comedian is not looking too good. I don't know.
Well, just like the modern animation person. Like it seems like animation, comedy, they've both gone that direction.
Exactly,
where-
Tom and
Pro
Jerry.
wrestling,
Return to Tom and
everything.
Jerry. Return to Tom and Jerry. That's what I say. Return to Looney Tunes.
Return to
when it was good.
Don't they have the new Looney
Like, the
Tunes?
human equivalent of Looney Tunes is like the Three Stooges.
Well, the Looney Tunes was like, yeah, there's sort of like a weird thing going on where it's like the archetype keeps repeating. Like I remember in high school English, this was like God knows how many years ago. I remember I said like my teacher walks in and I say to someone, I'm like, yeah, it's like the Simpsons, like Family Guy is just ripping off the Simpsons, right? And my teacher goes, yeah, well, the Simpsons were just ripping off the Flintstones, and the Flintstones were just ripping off a 50s radio show. So it's like, it's like, there you go, right?
That sounds like a typical old man thing to say, just like an old annoying teacher thing, which is like, I'm right because some fucking
No, but his
bullshit.
point was good though, because I was eating on Family Guy at the time, And I don't know, this was like before the Simpsons like totally cringed themselves. So it's just but the Simpsons now, I hate to say it, R.I.P. Yeah.
Zombie though, it never
Zombie
dies because
Simpsons.
it just keeps on chugging on. It's like it's not really dead, you know. It's like obviously the spirit's dead, but it's like the body's being like
No, but it's like a transhumanist.
puppeteered.
It's like a transhumanist that replaced all of its components with machinery that at the end of the day, not even the consciousness is left. It's just like a faint resemblance to what was before.
I think, again, like, Zoomers don't really know how great it was back in the day, like, the whole, like, Simpsons phenomenon. Like, the thing is, like, even just a little aspect of The Simpsons, like, some tiny, like, everything about it was so, like, well done.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it was like a passion project for a long time. And it was so popular that the writers were basically like given free reign by the network.
Pretty much.
And that it was just a cultural phenomenon at a time when, you know, television was sort of breaking new ground, especially sitcom television was sort of like becoming more respected, I guess. Like, you know, Seinfeld was becoming a thing, and Friends, and so like The Simpsons was like, well, you know, it's animated, but it's like for adults, and that was pretty new.
Yeah, and, like they had some
characters. Also, there was tons of Simpsons swag.
The Simpsons swag, yeah.
You remember Bartman? Bartman was very popular back in the day.
It's a juggernaut. And so, of course, it's like they're still pumping them out, disgustingly enough. Like,
but that's the thing. Like this,
America loves its long-running zombie fucking sitcom.
Yeah.
I mean, another one.
Plus, it put the nail in the coffin of like the 80s, like Leave It to Beaver, Huxtable type stuff. Well,
no, that's true. That the Simpsons really did tell that like concept of like the American family as something wholesome and natural, and it's like, hey, guess what? Like, you know, bright yellow people who, you know, the father works at a nuclear power plant and like is totally incompetent at his job, and like the school is like underfunded. They feed their kids like, you know, like rat poison. This is a societal critique. You know,
well, this is why if you go to the Emplemon video, by the way, Lev, we could get Emplemon on the show, that'd be amazing. The video where he talked about how the episode of Frank Grimes was like the death of like classic Simpsons, because now it's sort of like revealed that kayfabe of like a normal person from our reality goes to the land of the Simpsons, the Springfield, and it's like it totally just bodies, like it turned the audience's notion of the Simpsons itself on its head. The way that the episode of like Skinner being replaced by like Skinner's real name being Armin Tanzarian, like that was like, but even like a little thing, like every little thing, like if you watch the one compilation of where Troy McClure like says every movie title that he was in, like the one being what was it? Is like Buck Henderson, Union Buster. And it was like, it's something that was like very like negative, but the way he's saying it's kind of like a cowboy film. He's like, where he portrays a Union Buster. And the one was like Alice's Adventures Through the Windshield, and the other one was Alice Doesn't Live Anymore. And it was like, I don't know. Yeah, Super Nintendo Chalmers. Well, but sorry, myself, I cut you off.
Well, we had a whole meme, by the way, with steamed hams. I mean, that one's lost steam now, but it was pretty big for a while.
We have to talk about ones. I think The Simpsons is great, but the other one that's gone on for way too long, that stopped ages ago, fucking SpongeBob. It's like fucking SpongeBob, absolute classic for me, absolute fucking classic. I mean, I don't want to go into like, they ruined it. But not only that, it's like I also feel like, in some regards, like the meme culture of SpongeBob was also like, it hasn't ruined it for me, but it's like people don't see it in the same way as I kind of do. It's like this special thing.
Because there's a SpongeBob meme for every situation.
Exactly, it ruins the memes don't ruin it like the show for me, but they don't understand what makes SpongeBob special. Because like taking a screenshot of SpongeBob, it's not why it's good. It's the whole like mini stories, and then the gags are great, but singularizing a gag and then repeating it over and over again does not make it funny.
Isn't the guy dead now too? The guy he died of cancer.
Yeah. And they're fucking making all these bullshit remakes of it. Was there some like deep? I don't know what it is, but some like Camp SpongeBob thing. That's fucking horrendous. I can't believe they're doing that. It's just
Wait,
fucking-
can
Yeah.
you
it's some
No,
no,
this is
something.
a musical. There was supposed to be actually like.
Oh, sorry, something that they're trying to do with like some. It is. I've seen like screenshots of it because this was happening with like Steven Himmelberg before he died. They were saying, "Do not fucking like make any spin-offs with the characters or anything." And now that he's died, they're basically just completely ignoring that. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
look at the screenshot.
No, that's what happens. Like nothing is sacred.
Yeah.
Yep.
America is all about like, you know, violating treaties. We did it with the Native Americans, and of course we're gonna do it with like our
Yeah.
television show creators. We just can't help ourselves. We need to desecrate and desecrate again and
To quote
desecrate.
the band Nevermore,
Yeah.
nothing is sacred when no one
Nothing
is
is
saved.
sacred anyway. America's not, you know, the book series or now the TV show series, American Gods. It's kind of about that. How like America doesn't have its own sort of pantheon of gods. They're all imported, and so like we've just had to make do. There's nothing sacred, and America does not contain sacred soil.
Hmm. But some people think it does.
America does have the sacred soil of the Native
Yeah, America
Americans.
does have a lot of weird occult things that are very ancient going on, but it's
Yeah,
just
of
that
course.
the way it's taken up
Mm-hmm.
in like the collective zeitgeist is like very like, for example, I think, you know, Mormonism is probably like the American religion even more than like Protestantism. That is like
Absolutely, Mormonism
Yeah.
is like the de facto American religion, and of course it's insane.
Yeah.
Of course it's like, I mean, well, Scientology is also like it's almost like a new wave Mormonism.
That's like a fabulation of like a new age.
Yes, it is,
American
and
religion,
plus like it's got the same sort of sci-fi elements to it. It's got the same cult personality aspect. There's,
Well, back-
there's a lot of parallels.
Well, back in the day, L. Ron Hubbard used to cuck with the wife of what's his name, the JPL Jack Parsons. That's it. So Jack Parsons.
Jack Parsons was wasn't he like a Satanist that was involved?
He was,
in,
yeah. So he was
the Rocket,
he was a Crowleyite, not just
Yeah,
Satanist.
he was a Crowleyite. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
disciple of Aleister Crowley, and he was one of the most brilliant people during the World War II rocketry program. Like, he was responsible for creating a lot of rocketry technology, yet he was interested in all this occult stuff. And it is interesting how when you do get to like these higher levels like Nikola Tesla and so on, you do get to this point where it almost seems like the more rational scientists that don't think that there are, you know, things out there of, you know, more occult origins.
They become
They're-
midwits. They just
Yeah,
become
yeah,
functionaries.
exactly,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
the real visionaries. They're the ones that believe in like really crazy stuff, for good reasons
Yeah.
too.
But his wife had sex behind his back, or maybe not behind his back. I think it was like a open relationship.
Kind of
if
like
you will.
kind of like that was
Polyamory.
his thing.
Yeah, back in the day. I mean, Satanism. What do you expect?
Yeah. My God.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is this connection between Satanism and transhumanism as well. There's always Satanists that were involved in the movement. So
No, but we had a Satanist stream on, and you remember we had the guy who's also a transhumanist and a Satanist. but
yeah,
he-
that's right. Yeah.
And an atheist. I mean, I think what we ended up finding out was that a lot of them were atheists at the end of the
Most
day.
of them are like they're like
Was this the classic
Doris.
one that made Geo pissed off for like multiple streams, like after this with that like whatever?
no, that was the Thlemite one. That was
Oh, sorry.
this was the Satanism one actually went surprisingly well. I couldn't believe it.
I was there
It
for
could have went
that.
a lot worse.
That was my first stream. That's my
Yeah.
first.
Was it your first stream?
Yeah, it was. I was really nervous. My skin was like super dry for some reason. I didn't look that good, but yeah, that was my first stream.
Alexandra, you always look good.
Oh,
Yes.
shut up.
Aw,
Geo,
Gio, ladies and gentlemen.
Geo flirting in like
Gentle
seventh
giant.
gear. There you
Name,
go.
take a drink every time Lev says goon or I flirt with a woman on stream. So
You'd be fucking
someone,
dead.
we did come up with BTR bingo.
Yes,
And
we
I think
did.
one of them was me.
Well, Ewan. It was
flirting.
Ewan that
Yes.
did the first version.
See,
of the
Geo
BTR
doesn't like
bingo.
giving me credit. It's like, what
Spoonie,
is it?
shut the fuck up. No!
Yeah,
I was
this-
saying this because
it
of
was
edgy reasons.
cringe. It was cringe. It was not the best of the BTS. Sorry, BTR rather.
It was very cringe, but in terms of like talking to them, I felt it went well. But like it was kind of it was.
I think it got kind of derailed. I couldn't stay with the whole thing.
Yeah.
Justin Wang, you know, the YouTuber, like he was
Yeah.
he was watching me on the stream. He was like taking screenshots of me at the time. Oh man.
Oh
yeah.
my god, if
We gotta get him on.
we gotta get him
Justin.
on, yeah.
When
Yeah.
Justin Wang was taking
We know,
screenshots, he
we
was
do
sending-
know for a fact.
He was on Tinder and we were talking, so he's just like,
Wow.
Wait, can you lure him on the VTR stream, Alexandra?
We do know for a fact that Brittany Venti watches us. It
Yes,
was
we
in
do.
her recommended
right.
in the video.
word.
I'm a Satanist because of edgy reasons. I don't believe in anything. Yeah, that was kind like. See, I wish we would have brought. I forget his name now, but I wish we would have brought him on during the transhumanist stream instead of the Satanist stream, because the guy actually had some pretty brilliant like research. But it's just like because it was the Satanism thing. Although that one girl, what was her name? She was all right. She was pretty cool.
Siren Saint Sin.
Yeah, although I'm attracted to women with black hair. I don't know why. But it's just, she was all right. She was a good sport about it because, like, you know, you're always going to expect a degree of, like, trolling in the comments.
What? What?
Yeah, if
Trolling
you're-
in a
If you're a
comment.
woman.
Well, I mean, I get quite a
I
lot of
think-
trolling as well. I find
Yeah,
it quite
like, I
funny,
think-
but it's like.
It's funny. It's always funny to see when we do, like, we bring in someone on, like, someone who is not like a woman who is affiliated with like more like online right-wing circles. Like next week I believe we have Alex Kashuda, and like everyone that we know knows her. But when we bring on someone, it's like you could see like if the sea change where they're like, oh, this fucking hole, oh my god. But then like when they start spitting fire, then the chat changes like, oh, based, we love her now.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with you, Alexandra. At the beginning,
Definitely.
people were trying to troll you, be like, oh, who's this fucking thought? Then it's like you
Oh,
sort
they were
of...
nice. It was like, oh, like they seemed to like me. They were
Yeah,
very complimentary. Like I wasn't turned off at all. And also, like I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about me in a fucking chat. Like, oh my god, please troll the fuck out of me.
Man, you are like the polar opposite of you know who I'm talking about, right,
oh
Gio?
god, yeah.
Dot.
Thelema.
Yeah, the Thelema.
TikTok witch. No, it's funny because we even like I remember the e-girl stream. No, it wasn't the e-girl. Was it the e-girl stream?
chick. No, it was the Aleister Crowley stream.
No, I know that one, but no.
I would have killed on that stream. I know everything there is, and not everything, but I know enough. About
Yeah,
Alex.
I know we should have brought
Yeah.
in Alexandria. But no, the e-girl
that-
stream we
yeah.
had.
That was pre-Alexandra time,
It was
I
the
think.
Alexandra era.
Yeah. But the e-girl stream, it was like there was a few moments. I think it was Pollyanny that said like there's a few moments where it got kind of got
not
to.
Pollyanny. No, don't remind
Then-
me of her. Oh.
But
No,
then-
I feel so bad though. She was crying.
It's very nice though.
He was
Yeah.
crying.
Oh,
What?
she was fucking. You made her cry.
He was
the
crying.
chat made her cry, but
No,
she
but
but she
That's the thing,
but she
like,
was a good sport near the end.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
nutted. She
But, like,
she
online
gutted it
bullying.
out.
It's just like fucking close the chat window. Like, don't even think about
Wait,
it.
I don't remember her crying. Was she actually crying? Hold on a second.
She
You know what
was.
we gotta
She
do?
said she turned off the camera to cry a little bit.
We gotta sell
Alright.
like
All right.
little things that you could put on your computer to
I'm
block.
sorry, but when
VDR
you
chat.
like show us a vinyl plastering of your butthole, you need to kind of have like a bit of like.
I think
thicker
this
skin.
is- Every time we've had porn stars on, they generally have a better time of it because I think like
It's like their assholes are already online, so like.
no, but like I think they're used to like people trying to troll them or like calling them names and
She
shit. So
definitely didn't.
it was like I know like I think I even just to like do porn, I think like you have to have a thicker skin in general.
Yeah.
So-
No.
That's got a bit of influence there.
Kind of like they're
Yeah.
a thicker skin. You know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean.
But like for example, we had Lita on, and she's pretty, you know, she's pretty smart for her
Yeah.
age and everything.
How old is she again? Is she
She's
like
19. She
19?
just turned 19
Oh,
years
wow.
old, and so she's been doing porn for like ever since I believe she turned 18 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was born in Vegas.
Yeah, well, that explains.
Grew
it.
up in Vegas.
So,
You know, I didn't have my first kiss till I was 22 years old.
oh wow.
Really?
I
Yeah,
still,
I'd never kissed a boy.
hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's no shame in that.
Incel, yeah. No, I was in it.
I think I don't
If
know
you were
if
a
I had
man,
my
though,
first
you'd be
kiss. I
getting called
really
an
can't.
incel right now. If you- if
Whatever.
you're a
No,
man.
voluntary celibate. That's a gender.
Exactly.
neutral.
When you're a
I'm
woman,
a
it's
bull,
fine.
so-
When you're a man, it's just like you didn't have this until like after 15, incel. That's what it seems like now.
Yeah,
You're,
I think
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like, I don't know. As someone who doesn't have a lot of experience in this regard, I think like there's a certain, I don't know. It's really weird how, like, especially in like North American culture, it's really weird how we place like these arbitrary markers on, like, you know, if you didn't have like whatever by the time you're 20, it's like you're done. I don't know. It's really
That's
weird.
just so harsh and like not even like necessarily true as well. It's just kind of like
Yeah, I think for Zoomers, it might be different now. I think like people, like younger people, aren't. I mean, if millennials aren't having sex like their parents, I mean, my God, what are Zoomers gonna have? Like,
some people are just slow burners, man. It's all right. Like,
Yeah,
some people
exactly.
just-
yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like statistically, millennials have had the least amount of sex out of every generate for the past like 5 generations.
No, that's a
Like-
good thing, honestly.
I mean,
think
yes
so.
and no. I mean, I think it's a bad thing because we're obsessed with
The problem is it's replaced with porn. That's the real fucking issue.
no, it's replaced with porn, but it's also the obsessions around sexuality is the most prominent. Yet we are like schizophrenically in terms of like the real, in terms of like material reality. We have the least amount of sex, but yet it's like when it comes to the obsession around. But yeah, sorry,
Alex was going to
Hopeful.
say something. Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know if everybody's like, I mean, like, sex is basically like, okay, so like we're surrounded by sexual imagery because we live in a world where like a society where advertising is everywhere, and it's like an integral part of selling shit to people that they don't need. But in terms of like an obsession, it's like I don't know if people are any more or less sex obsessed than they've always been. I think like sexual like imagery in media is definitely
Well, what I'm
it's more accessible to people at younger ages.
But it's not even just like around like the act of sex itself. It's more of like the obsession around like sexuality in general being like an integral part of your being is becoming like at the same time it's the most problematized and the most obsessed over is something that is divorced from the material act in terms of like the percentage of like millennials and Zoomers that like don't engage or have a long-term relationship. But Hopeful Abandon, you wanted to say something?
It's kind of becoming like a. I mean, I'm just watching the Pokemon. Honestly, I don't give a shit. But it's kind of becoming like a. It's becoming like a social. It's becoming like a part of your social identity is the way that you have sex,
Yes,
right?
that's very true.
Yeah.
And so it's very public facing now.
Yeah.
And one thing that I think is underrated a lot of times is that the more open and public sexuality becomes, the less sensual it becomes.
Yes,
Yeah.
There's
less
a degree
erotic.
of trade-off, right? Where
Yeah.
you need a level of repression to have that tension, which causes things to be
Also,
interesting.
modesty is a component of sexuality. I think you do need modesty in order to be sort of fully feeling. You know, if everything's sort of like
Yeah.
exhibitionist, then you're not going to really feel anything. You're going to be numb. 'Cause
The
you have to
contrast
be
is important.
composure.
This is something that I know Default Friend on Twitter talks about a lot. It's
Yes.
the way that relationships have become like a commodity, which is traded in this social sense, rather
Yeah.
than like a part of your integral like inner life or whatever that's restoring you. And it becomes like a signaling tool. So I
And-
think
and we're-
that's yeah.
We're gonna have Default Friend on soon, but
Yes,
I
we
might
will.
I might be
Hell yeah.
able I might be going on her podcast with her what's her name, Personality Girl, or her co-host.
Yeah, personality girl.
Yeah, we might have them on soon. We just have to we'll have to work out the details. She was gonna
Absolutely.
come on, but she was busy that one night with the Ayala stream. But yeah, she's a great poster, good friend. But yes, I think like this is one thing I remember. A big influence on me is this French sinologist. His name is Francois Julien, and he is interesting because he knows both Taoism, art criticism, and like I believe he's a Heidegger scholar. And I remember, so he was a big part of when I did my master's in philosophy. He had this one chapter in this book. It's called. No, Default did not have a meltdown and tell people to dox themselves. Maybe you're thinking of someone who tried to go after BAP like Claire Blyman. Anyway, so he had this chapter. It's this book. It's It's a verse in the Tao Te Ching. It's called "The Great Image Has No Form." This is the book. In this chapter, he calls it the impossible nude in Chinese art. So, the Chinese Taoist artists, they didn't have a conception of like the aesthetic that the way that they did later on when Europe like basically tried to colonize China. So they had this concept. He makes this concept
book, right? I've read the Tao Te Ching. Isn't that like
from Lao Tzu? Yeah.
I'm saying that it's all about the uncarved block, and it's just like how the. Am I wrong? Am I wrong now?
That's one of the verses, the uncarved block, the unbleached stone.
Is that not what you were talking about there?
No, but this is similar in that, so he has this chapter called The Impossible Nude, meaning that in Chinese art, until, like, the later permutations...
I'll try this one.
Yeah, no, but it's similar myself. There wasn't a conception of, like, nudity except for, like, very crude, like, wood blocks, and stuff like that was, like, more pop culture type of their day. So, like, kabuki theater in Japan was, like, the one that... There was... the ones that created prints of like the sexual act. But in China, a lot of the figure work in like, especially in sumi ink painting, it was like they always were almost like alien looking, and they were always with clothing. So because the conception was that the Chinese, and this is what Julian says, the Chinese, they didn't have a concept of like the full presence of the human body being a symbol of beauty. It was more of like the Heideggerian, like revealing sort of thing, where, and this is similar in Taoism as well, is that there's always an inexhaustible negative side. There's always the what is the way, what is between heaven and earth, is something that is infinite, something that will always reveal itself and is inexhaustible. So like, for example, the Tao is said to be like the unplenishable found. It is something that is always infinitely replenishing. So in terms of like the nude and the art of China, they didn't have a concept of beauty being like revealing. Beauty was something that was inherently erotic and beautiful, was something that had to have an element of concealing into it. And so therefore, nowadays we live in a world where we're so overexposed that the erotic has disappeared. And that's because we don't have this access to this, like, you know, when a woman wears clothing that is revealing, that is even more titillating than, like, just seeing a pair of tits or whatever. Like, it's you know what I mean? It's not like,
I know what you mean.
The pornification of the world and yeah, sorry, go ahead, Alex. Yeah.
Oh, no. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just... being stupid. Yeah.
No, go ahead. By all
yeah, no, because that kind of leads back to what we were talking about earlier, how like there needs to be a sort of element of mystery in sensuality in order for it to be effective. If you sort of, you know, just kind of commercialize and commodify the human body, human sexuality, in order to fucking sell Dove bars, you know, it's like you're not really servicing, you know, the Tao or whatever the fuck it is that, you know, kind of makes life interesting.
Do you also think that elements are being commercialized as far as individual parts of the human body, like why the focus is so much on something like twerking? Because theoretically speaking, you can buy a bigger ass, or you can buy you can do like silicone injections in the lips or whatever.
That's actually
can't buy a bigger heart.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Actually,
that is so sweet, Owen.
I mean, if you have a medical condition, some people do have they call it ischemic. I forget the medical. There's people who have an enlarged heart.
All right, Mr.
Well, you remember Sam Hyde? You remember Sam Hyde in the baseball game? He was lying down because he said he has a big heart.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, but apparently that's pretty bad for you, like these ass jobs, like especially if you go to like a budget.
God.
Like you want if you sit down on the pin.
There's women who have gotten the silicone leaks into their system, and they've gotten anal cancer from these ass injections because they've done it on the cheap. Like in Brazil, they have a lot of like discount.
A lot of transgender women, actually, unfortunately, they get very cheap injections.
Make myself some ass implants.
Yeah, it's a way to like treat their dysphoria. It's also a lot of them are.
Oh look, Gio, it's your friend.
Oh God,
Oh,
hiker,
thank you!
Oh.
hiker. But yeah, that is true. A lot of them, they get the budget ass
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah.
Why can't these women on Instagram? Why can't they just do squats? I mean, oh, that would imply doing work. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Not everybody can grow a bigger ass. I'll never have a huge ass.
I'll
like,
grow a bigger one.
Not.
I'll bought some balloons.
Million squats.
You've seen this
Never-
Balloon time. Balloon time with
Never-
you.
balloon
I don't get why the big ass thing is. I mean, I get it, but it's like.
Different. It's just something different. It's like things come and go. The Kardashians came out with their disgusting giant diaper asses, and they sort of. Yeah, they did.
And that's the baddie aesthetic. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, it's
creation of
funny
it.
because it's all cyclical. Like you look at erotic art from like the 1880s, and it's the same shape that's being celebrated. Very small waist, fat fucking ass, and big thighs. You know.
But that
And
was
all
also.
over body and like. You know,
Because-
big lips and whatever. Like it's the same thing. Everything's cyclical.
Yeah.
I think it's so crazy that women's body shapes fall in and out of fashion.
We talked about this on the e-girls. We talked about this. Yeah, it's true. Like how, because before it would denote fertility, but the problem is you have to have those huge hips in
Yeah.
order to like complete the fertility goddess.
I mean, having a baby helps with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pregnancy and childbirth expands your hips, so that can help
Mhm.
with your whole waist hip ratio. But then also like you get fat, whatever. It's a whole thing.
I personally think that like men don't give a shit. I mean, I guess like if you get fat, but like, I don't know. I think like is beauty standards like okay? I know the Naomi Wolf argument, but I think like is it other women that also are policing the perception of like what a beauty standard is? Like, because men on like to tell you the brutal, honest to God truth, maybe it's just because my standards are so incredibly low. I think men don't fucking care if you have like extra cellulite here as opposed to there. I don't know.
I mean, some men are very particular.
Yeah, true.
And a lot of it's like, you know, if you're sort of a high status male, then you're potentially going to be more interested in a woman who exhibits traits that are in demand or whatever. It's like the trophy wife phenomenon. But yeah, no, I definitely think that most men will fuck a warm cantaloupe, and it's really not a big deal. Women are definitely
I mean, yeah. I mean, some men like women with
women, you know, sisters and girlfriends being like, "Did she really eat that? It's gonna go straight to your thighs," like that. Whole
Mean Girls.
Yeah.
yeah,
This
exactly.
is why Mean Girls is one of the best. It really is the millennial movie in a lot of ways.
I mean, it was based on a book that turned out to not be super. It was kind of like the book itself was iffy, but the movie was really good.
But that's what I mean. Like, I think the problem nowadays is that the relations between the genders are so fundamentally fucked up.
Yeah.
And Default Friend goes into this. I've yet to listen to the newest podcast, but I've listened to her first episode with Personality Girl, and that was like, you know, Alexander, you should go and listen to it. Sign up to her Substack. I believe the first episode's free. I think if you just sign up to the Substack, it's free. But that episode, you'd like, that was fucking gripping. That, like, from a woman's perspective.
I don't know what the fuck Substack is either.
Well, yeah, it's for people who have personality disorders. Anyway, no, it's Substack is like for like writers and journalists, and they have a podcast feature. But anyways, I have a Substack, but I have yet to like write I'm working on it. So she has this podcast with her co-host where they're both talking about the sexual experiences of women during the Obama years, where this sort of like sex positivity came about, and it was like it was like as from a man's perspective, especially, it was like, man, this is like, it really made me sympathize, like in terms of just the very like negative sexual experiences that were going on under the guise of liberation. But she talks about this like phenomenon where, because the relations between the sexes or the genders or whatnot, because it's so fundamentally fucked up, it's like men, they almost don't care about appearances that much. What are you doing?
Ballooner.
Oh my god!
Kim, is that you?
Barstool degeneracy.
In the stream.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
golly.
This is terrible. This
Kanye
is
just
terrible.
before he became a billionaire. Just before he acquired Spotify, you divorced him. Why?
It reminds me. It reminds me of that South Park episode where Cartman had to like pretend like to get a tit shot of his mother's cleavage, and it was like, then I'm gonna go to the bushes with it. No, I'm gonna go under the bushes first. It was like,
Oh my god.
anyways, no, I think a lot of men, they just like literally the standard is a girl is nice to me. That is what it is nowadays. So
No, and yeah, like women put so much pressure on themselves and other women.
Yeah.
For competing for people who don't care, really.
it's again like Zero HP Lovecraft talks about how this is really just like female intersexual competition between themselves.
Yeah,
like men
exactly.
are almost out of the picture now. Like the whole male gaze is almost like been totally like occluded from the cultural
Have you
conversation.
guys seen this?
Yeah, every
before?
millennial couple is this.
They're
Yeah.
still there. Like
Fuck.
most movie directors, most people like who are directing commercials and music videos and like, you know, sort of controlling the aesthetics of our visual media world are men. So the male gaze
Yeah,
is
I mean, but
You
it's
think
what
about,
type
though,
of men? It's
Yeah.
a lot of them
You
are
think
gay
about who's
men.
the-
So.
so what? Gay men can be sexist as fuck. Like gay men can be complete like douchebags.
I forgot. Gay men are no longer part of the progressive stack. I forgot. It's now they've been totally wiped out.
It's that, like you really like they're still men. They're still kind of gonna sort of
Yeah.
not necessarily respect the woman, you know? Like it
Well-
doesn't just mean that you're gonna
But
you
I'm
know,
actually curious.
Yeah.
Like
What were we gonna
kind of-
say? Well, hopeful abandon. You had something to say. Then.
I mean, I'm just thinking about how like 80% or so of consumption is from women, right? And
Yeah.
so if you're doing marketing and looking at what's going to sell and what's going to appeal to the culture in that way, you have to be appealing to women at some level. And so
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's like,
I mean the meme is that like most media is targeted towards 18 to 35-year-old men, you know.
it
I'm not
used
sure-
to be, but I honestly see a change.
Yeah, I think it has
Yeah.
changed. I mean, there's been a sort of in general a feminization. Of
It's
society
now
as
it's
well.
18 to 35-year-old women,
Yeah.
mostly white women. Let's
Oh,
face
well.
it. Let's really talk about like that's.
Although the aesthetics,
is.
I think, is more geared towards 13-year-old girls. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I don't know.
But I'd just like to say with like implant stuff, I can't imagine it's comfortable for women because I'm sitting on 2 balloons right now and it's just, like, I'm scared of popping them. So it's like these women, they must be like in constant fear of popping their
I
balloons.
personally don't care. I mean, I don't know. I it's kind of a turn off in some ways to have like. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I have a
Did you
lot
not
of
like
friends
my
who are part of
my
Bimbo
rump,
Twitter.
my
I shouldn't say
balloon
that
rump
about
there,
them.
Gio? Did you not
you've
like
got
that?
like the electrodes attached to your abs to simulate childbirth. You're doing that, but for ass implants.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm simulating. it.
Bimbified. I love my big bimbified sissified society. I love my big bimbified sissified dead
I'm
society.
gonna try and pop.
Plastic
I'm
dictate
trying to pop the balloon to my ass.
No, but like the breast implant thing, it's like I don't know. I guess they got it down to a science now. Them making them look.
Well,
real.
I mean, it's not really.
Not
They
really.
still
They're too
have a bag of
symmetrical.
Water and/or plastic that's shoved into a cavity inside your fucking chest wall. It's
Yeah.
not very scientific at all. It's actually quite grotesque.
I think I don't
And
know
it
why,
fucking
but a lot of
grows
these
mold.
like
You've ever
every.
seen like implants that have been removed? Even
Oh
even
god.
like we're fine. They'll be like all crusty and shit. Like it's a foreign body.
I don't know why, but every time there's like these TV shows where these women get work done, like the Kardashians or like 90 Day Fiance, all these plastic surgeon dudes, they look pervy. I don't know why. It's like, why do they look like that? It's like, I guess if they're like,
themselves, you know. And there's
a lot of them have had work. Yeah, they,
that like you start to look fake. Your face doesn't move in the right way.
yeah,
You know, your
yeah.
skin is a little too tight and shiny, and that can come across as pervy for sure. Like it's just
Oh
like
yeah.
you know, a 48-year-old man
With like,
who doesn't look 48, but he doesn't look 24 either. Like
Yeah.
it's a strange, uncanny valley hybrid.
I just don't understand like this like thing about like I call me old fashioned, which I am, but I honestly think like women I think like it's a negative social consequence to have like women being like feeling that they have this need for a glorious tit job such as what myself has now. I think like women being pressured to have like work done. It's like, to me, I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with like myself take him.
You know what?
Oh
What
my
if
God.
I don't want to tempt fate, but what if myself takes a needle and just punctures the? What would that be like?
Mogged. Well, Lev, have you had work done?
No, I have not.
Where's the? Hold on, I've
Are you
got.
sure?
My
some
chest is
things.
still
Hold on.
as
Natural.
it is. Natural, all natural.
But no, but I don't know. Like it's just to me, I don't find women who've had work done. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Like I've
Yeah, you
had
shouldn't
friends
say
who've
that.
had work done, but
If a woman has work done and it looks good, you wouldn't be able to tell.
yeah,
You can't tell.
you can't tell.
I like how you position the answer.
There was this tweet actually where someone, I think it was, oh my God, he's doing it. There,
Wait, hold on, I gotta see myself. What are you doing?
there was this
I just
tweet
told-
where
yeah.
someone took a photo of a very beautiful Iranian woman from like the 1800s
Mhm.
and 1900s, and they shoved it through one of those like beauty like TikTok, Instagram
Yeah.
filters, and she just looked like a generic bimbo. Like all of
Yeah.
her, like
Oh no,
all
that's
of,
really common.
yeah,
They do
like
the pictures of Marilyn Monroe too. It's disgusting. It makes me mad.
but
I
it's
also saw, I saw it photoshopped. It was like Audrey Hepburn with a ball gag in her mouth. I was
oh
pissed.
God.
You shouldn't
No,
do that.
Because it the thing is not even like bimbo, it's just like the generic like Instagram e-girl look, baddie look with the big lips. It's like it destroyed her natural features that that really made it, you know, like it's like
Yeah,
what
that's
Oscar
fine.
Wilde it's like what Oscar Wilde said. He said true beauty takes a bit of ugliness, meaning like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot of good quotes relating to that.
meaning that like again this is almost like wabi sabi in some
Yeah.
weird way where it's like you need a bit of like a unique imperfection in order to like have a form of beauty that is original. Like Audrey Hepburn had those like
Yeah.
dimples.
Yep.
And myself, my God, Ewan, what are you doing?
Well,
Myself,
Oh God.
pneumatic chest.
Pneumatic jet.
you know what we should do? We should have a stream like.
Well,
one of
someone
our-
in the chat said that the Wonder Bras cars caused car crashes in the
Yeah,
90s.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
We should have a
They
stream,
can
by the
see
way.
over the,
We
like,
should have a.
thing.
Even in the
We should-
90s.
We should have a
like,
stream where we invite like a very well-regarded person, you know, like a professional, like maybe a war veteran or somebody who works for I don't know, some think tank, and then have Ewan on with the
Oh
breasts.
my God. We've had that. We've had him with Sean on. Professor Lang.
Was
Yes,
this the guy with
But
the
it's not,
balloon?
it's not the same. You gotta have the chest in. You gotta do some crazy.
Yeah, we gotta
Ewan
have like
antics.
some Evan McMullen like deep state functionary, and just bring Ewan on, and he'll like paint himself red, and he'll like.
I'll do some. No, I can't repeat the same joke.
No,
I mean,
no,
I'm-
it's got to be a different performance. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got to
exactly.
be. But
Well, you could make the balloons out of the people.
Again, it's got to be new
Oh,
material.
man.
I don't repeat stuff.
No, but each balloon is a new thing, Ewan.
No, that I felt like
Buff
that was
is
right
like
for the stream. 'Cause
Buff is
Theo
like
told,
Kazar
so it
Milkers.
worked.
What's better than that?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. That's the
Kazar
original.
Milkers.
When the Israelites were talking about the land of milk and honey, that's what they were talking
That's what they were
about.
talking about. The
Exactly, it's
Kazar
talking
Milkers.
Luckily, a pretty decent simulation, I imagine.
I feel like,
Have
but
a
the
question,
Kazar Milkers thing is a weird
like,
meme
I drink
in
off
that
the
like
breath, but wouldn't do.
like. Oh
Wait, Ewan,
God.
hold on, Ewan, say something so the camera goes to
Hello.
you.
Oh my God.
Can you put them like in between your breasts so there's like a cleavage?
That's what he's doing.
Oh, okay. I
Is
see.
that a
Good.
There's not the
Dos Equis
microphone,
commercial,
hold
or
on.
What was that?
There
Yeah,
you
what
go.
is that, Ewan? What is that?
Magnus. There you go.
Oh,
That's my
classic.
cider of choice.
Let me see if I can get a. Oh, Charles Kahn is in the house. He is coming in here, and let me also see if I can get Sunny on, cause Sunny.
actually,
needs
I
to-
gotta go, Lev. It's getting.
All right, buddy.
So-
This is.
Bye.
This has been
We
a
have
great
to.
pleasure.
Geo.
I see. I'm very. I think like in some ways, if I was born in a different life, I would have been quite the ladies' man. I don't know. Maybe
I feel like
could
Geo
have.
is quite the ladies' man.
You still are the ladies' man.
Maybe I have to hide the fact that I'm
Geo
quite
is
the ladies' man.
absolutely the ladies'
Dio, you are the ladies' man. I
He's
would
gonna
not
have
worry
The
about
only.
That's got a shed wife. He's got several.
that. exactly. He's got the shed wife.
Oh, what's that? Oh, my shed wife's calling. I gotta go, boys.
Yeah.
So,
All right, see you.
All right, Gio. Take
Yeah.
care, buddy.
I can't believe we made that fucking shed.
Good old
Yeah,
shed.
Shed wife, good old.
Side joke.
Her name is Sally. And
Sally Shed Wife.
Princess
my
Sally.
circus wife is also
Sally
calling me,
Acorn.
so-
I mean, she's
Sally,
a ground. She's
Oh
a
God, Sally Acorn.
why did I have to say?
She's a ground squirrel, so she's used to
She
living in
is-
the dark.
Yeah, well, she has like she has like a fursuit of Sally Acorn that
Yeah,
I
made
make
out
her
of
wear.
bows, real.
And if she
people
doesn't
bows.
wear, and if my shed wife does not wear her Sally Acorn uniform, oh, she gets punished. No,
Oof.
I'm
So,
kidding. I'm.
How's our Pokemon team doing?
She no,
How's-
sorry. She punishes me. I'm sorry.
How's
I have to
Pecker
lie.
Lips?
She
It's-
punishes
it's,
me
uh,
in her Sally Acorn fursuit. She my
Pecker
God.
Lips, the MVP.
If she doesn't wear the Sally Acorn suit, then you will stone her like they do in Iran. But instead
No,
of
no,
stoning
if-
her with
no,
stones,
see,
you
I
stone her
beg
with
her-
nuts.
No, it's the opposite, Lev. I beg her not to wear her Sally Acorn fursuit because when she puts it on, I know I'm in trouble. So that's gonna be. Yeah, she's called.
I can't
No,
help
actually, I
but
have to
think
go
of
eat.
that,
So I'll see you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Adios, Gio, my brother.
So,
Mwah.
so Charles Khan, how was your D&D stream?
Oh, brother, I led him through 2 rooms in the Temple of Elemental Evil, full of elemental priests.
Nice. Well, speaking of elemental priests, Alexandra, can you tell a little bit more about the teachers in your shul?
The teachers.
Yeah,
My
like
dad dated one of them. He dated my Hebrew school teacher, Miriam.
nice.
Yeah. And you know, he wasn't supposed to, so of course it was very hush hush.
Mm.
You know,
Kind of like something out of a Woody Allen
I
movie.
mean, if they're of age, like, you know, who are we to?
Yeah.
I
Let
don't know what
those
age,
without sin. Let those without sin cast the first stone. Isn't that what Jesus
What
said?
is what we said? It was
Jesus.
a
Jesus.
Jesus
is,
with a
uh,
Jew.
I don't know Jesus. Talk about Jesus.
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 Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, it oh shit, why am I doing this? I'm a fucking idiot because I'm
Yeah.
listening to you and I'm using Pikachu to fight a rock type. That is not here. Princess, dude.
Left.
Yeah, good old
Together.
princess.
Yeah, you like Princess, right? Princess is your favorite.
Oh, of course.
So, when you learned about the Bible, or well, the Torah rather,
Yeah.
what were some of the things that you retained? Some of the things that stayed with you? Yeah, I'm putting you on the
So
spot.
that's like a religious school, right?
Yeah.
You went to Israel and everything too.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh God, I went to Israel. It wasn't fun, but no.
Not fun in Israel.
What happened from like grades like 3rd grade to 6th grade, I think. And God, did I retain anything?
Wait, does that mean one of the teachers was dating kids from 6th grade to 8th grade? Am I putting that together right now?
No, my dad was dating my Hebrew school teacher.
Okay. Now I'm putting it together.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I missed something here. I came in hot. I was like, whoa.
No student-teacher relationships in Hebrew school. None of that. I don't think Jews generally have. I don't know. I don't think I know of any like.
No,
Jewish-
there were child abuse incidents.
I feel like it would be called
Hasidics.
not.
There are
Yeah,
some-
oh yeah, in the Hasidic community. Well, all right. Well, we won't talk about them. But,
yeah,
it's really
that's the Hasidic dudes are the ones that wear the little curly things and those the Orthodox thing, right?
Yeah,
Drag them into the back room.
but they're pretty chill at the Russian Turkish baths, though. That's where I met a lot of Hasidic Jews. But anyway.
The Russian baths. That's a great place to pick up chicks, actually.
No, it is. I
Yeah.
I had some fun times there. I got to meet this red-headed Antifa witch at the
Oh,
Russian
boy.
Turkish baths,
Did
and
the carpet match the drapes?
Hi-yo!
well, no, it didn't because it was fake. It was a red. It was fake red hair. You know,
Fake
dyed hair. But
Right.
anyway, it felt kind of like a spell was cast on me, not by her, but I think by one of the rabbis, which resulted in her coming into my periphery at the Russian Turkish baths.
Your periphery, huh?
And this was because I got a kosher joint. One of the younger Hasidics, he gave me a kosher joint.
All right.
And this was
I
around
have-
the time. Yeah?
I have to ask, what makes a joint kosher?
Yeah. I don't.
I guess the way it's, I don't.
Is it
know.
grown and blessed by a priest?
I think it is blessed by a priest.
Mine
And
is
it's probably a rabbi
blessed by a
too.
rabbi.
Is that's what makes something actually kosher?
Yes.
The way the meat's prepared, or the way I think
Yeah,
a
but with
rabbi,
the-
either a rabbi blesses it or they prepare it a certain way. I think.
Well, an
that's-
animal. It starts from the very beginning. It has to be a certain sort of animal. It has to be killed in a ritualistic manner.
Oh.
Everything is like from start to finish. It's prepared in a certain way. It's bled in a certain way. The animal cannot contain any blood whatsoever. Jews do not like consuming blood on any level. Meat actually has to be salted several times in order to like completely eradicate any kind of blood. And yeah, no, it definitely does have to be blessed. I mean, they're also like even in kosher preparation, there are different levels. Like there's kosher, and then there's like capital K kosher. This is like a whole different thing. And there's some people who can only eat like extra kosher. Like it's very intense. But yeah, it's all the way down from how you cook it, how you prepare it, even how you serve it, what kind of plates that you're serving it on.
Oh wow! So even the plates have to be.
Oh yeah, no. In very religious Jewish homes, you'll have 2 sinks. You'll have a separate cutting board for meat and milk. Like, yeah, very OCD, very particular.
Have you seen Unorthodox?
Yes, I have. Oh my god, of course I have. That was great. Apparently, like, the Kazakh community or Kazakh whatever, they definitely don't like it. They don't really seem to get it. But yeah, like there's a lot of like, you know, like unorthodox is bullshit, you know, coming out of the Hasidic sphere.
Hasidic. There's a lot of Hasidics I follow on Clubhouse, and I actually enjoy talking with them or listening to them more than anybody on Clubhouse. Because I'll be honest, a lot of the Clubhouse conversations are just so lame.
How lame are they, Lev? Fill me in.
Very lame.
I don't. What
No,
kind of
because,
thing
like-
are we talking here?
Yeah, I
look-
got in on a Clubhouse. I think it was called Clubhouse. I listened in on one. It was very.
They won't have me in Clubhouse, will they? Rubbing balloon breasts.
Well, the problem is that there's no video.
Oh, he's got
There's
a
no
big
audio.
set of balloon titties now.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That was.
There's
That's a
You're
nice
a bit
set
late
of
to that.
titties you got there.
Pop them on there. I'm trying to pop them underneath.
You gotta,
He's
yeah, you
trying
gotta
to
do
pop
the
his
gorilla.
breasts.
You gotta do the gorilla shake, the King Kong
Mm.
to pop him. I bet you can.
Yeah,
do it.
did you
Well, just
guys
my-
catch the big fight, Godzilla versus Kong?
I don't know.
Godzilla versus Cohen? What?
Whatever it was called. I think that was the name. Godzilla versus Kong. Kong versus Godzilla.
Underneath.
It's the big movie this week that come out.
I don't know. I mean, I like Godzilla's old Japanese aesthetics. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
the Japanese do aesthetics
Yeah.
much better
The
than
chonker
the American studios.
modern Godzilla is it's not as off-brand as the '90s American Godzilla, but he's still
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
yeah, that one tried to be more like a Jurassic Park kind of thing. Like there was a like at some point the second, third act of that movie, they're locked in a place with a bunch of little dinosaurs, and it's like, okay, I know what you guys are trying to do here, brother. Like this ain't exactly what was advertised. But this new chonker Godzilla, I think they're most of the way there. They're nowhere near what Shin Godzilla was, the last Japanese one. Like that was like if I recommend people to watch a Godzilla, that's the one.
I'll just imagine like growing up as a Japanese kid, having all this anime and Super Sentai. You know, well, I don't know, Alexandra, if you know what Super Sentai is.
Of course
It's
I know what Super Sentai is.
all right.
That's
Good,
your,
good,
Super
good for you.
hentai.
Like how
Super
deep
Sentai.
into the
Yeah, the Power Rangers.
Toka,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tokugatsu, Tokusetsu?
Yeah.
How deep into that world do you go? Are you gonna say all the way into Kamen Rider
gotta
and
get
your
some-
Ultramans and
Yeah, I like Ultraman, I like Kamen Rider, but what I really like is the designs of all the monsters and
oh
the
god, yeah,
animal
that's
suits. But not today. I'd say, look, as much as I like Japanese aesthetic, I think they fucked up. I think they fucked up in all, like, since 2010 or something like that. All the Sentais that came out, the suits suck. Not the suits, but the mech. Like, the robots, they're
so
not
like
great.
they're Megazords and things.
Yeah, they're not great. They're just, like, they look cheap. They look like little blocks that you just, like, combine together of, like, really bright colors. You know, they could do a lot better than that. I don't know what happened.
I
Did
feel
all
like
the old
most,
Japanese people die off? like all the artists.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want to interrupt too much, but I'm gonna head off now. I need to get some fucking sleep because I'm
Well,
doing
myself,
something.
you are in London, and I appreciate
Not London, but
England,
not
England.
London, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
So-
in, he's in jolly
England,
old
Brits
England.
bong. Dong goes the Queen, and that's yes, chip chip.
He's in
Tally ho.
Chip cheerio.
Wow.
a bit of a Manchester.
Well,
English.
here's
Hello.
my impression of an
I'm in
Englishman.
England. I do
Okay,
a bit of an
okay.
England voice. Hello.
Hello.
How we doing
here,
there?
how I do an English voice is I have to hold my nose. It's like,
Oh, Jesus.
hello,
Christ.
governor.
Hello.
Right,
there.
that's me
Hello,
leaving. Bye bye.
So fucking
I also
terrible.
do a bit of this voice here. We're
Yeah,
from the
that's
north,
better.
and the
Yeah,
north
that's
from
Whatever.
England, boys.
I still think the nose technique is the
Was
best.
it? What
Hello,
was-
gov.
North MC.
No.
We
You just
believe-
bullied that man off the stream. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know.
man.
It's fun doing imitations and doing silly voices.
Well,
I always
when
had
it,
fun doing that.
when it comes to the Bible, back to that for a second. The story that stuck with me was David and Goliath. You know, that was the one that they told in Catholic school. Catholic. I actually went to Catholic school too. So Alexandra, for those who don't know, first I went to Russian Orthodox school.
Okay.
Then I went to Catholic school.
Oh my god.
I never went to Jew school.
What?
Yeah, and they were all around me. Like there's one nearby, but I never went there. I just my parents wanted me to be raised in in more of a how do I say it, cosmopolitan way, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You know, just like
Oh, you're assimilated.
yeah, exactly. Because when it comes to a lot of this stuff, like my biggest gripe, and it's not just with Judaism, but it's with all the Abrahamic religions, is that, and we had Gravitas on yesterday, and Gravitas, he's a great guy. He's a fucking saint. I love him. But when it comes to just the idea of we have Jesus and Jesus is it, or we have Yahweh and Yahweh, oh, I'm not supposed to say that word, but
Yeah, you can't say the name.
I can't say the name.
I
But
can say
anyway.
it.
Yes,
Yahweh.
Adonai. They call him Adonai. So Adonai is supposed to be it, like the God. But it's like, what if, can't you make room for the fact that there could be paranormal, spectral experiences that influence humanity that could, reference all of the things you talk about in relation to miracles and in relation to the Torah, where I'm basically saying, like, yes, I admit all this stuff is for real, but maybe they're like another advanced entity and not really the God. Maybe they're like another messenger that just like specifically instructing this group of people.
In Judaism. There's angels that act as messengers of
Yeah, but they're still messengers of what is supposed to be like the supreme of the supreme, and
Are they
that's
the
where
ones that show up like flaming wheels and that sort of thing?
yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
hell
like,
yeah. I always thought
but-
that was cool.
but why do we assume that it ends at this particular God that talked to the Hebrews? What if that God is just like another higher entity that we can like get to? But it's like, if this is an entity that calls for the destruction of like the Pharaoh's newborns, or the destruction of what was that city? I'm trying to remember the name of it. Jericho.
Okay,
Oh.
Jericho. Yeah, the walls fell.
Yeah. So if it's an entity of that sort, then it's a bit sus to me. I don't know.
Wasn't it? Who was it that took the Ark of the Covenant into battle and would open it and just watch people fall dead? Was that Palestinians?
Wait, what?
They would bring the Ark into battle with them and use it as a weapon.
Oof.
Well, that would be the Israelis, I
The
guess.
Israelis, okay.
Yeah. Well, they stole the Ark of the Covenant from the Egyptians, supposedly.
Yeah. See,
And
I had
that-
heard that the Ethiopians were supposed to have it now.
I know, and the guardians of the Ark of the Covenant in Ethiopia go blind
Yeah.
from being in that room. So there's a lot of interesting stuff in relation to the Ark, like it may be some kind of an ancient Egyptian super weapon, and even language that was passed down. You have, for example, the Phoenicians, and the Phoenicians were the people who were in the boats, and they were going all around the world setting up colonies. Their language is very similar to like Proto-Hebrew, which is also similar to the Egyptian hieroglyphics. And as far as all these connections, I mean, there's too much to talk about right now, but these people, these Phoenician people, it seems like their religion, when we were talking before about America doesn't have a religion, I think that their religion is like the mystery cults. and these are the things that have been passed down from the time after the Great Cataclysm. So it's like, Alexandra, have you heard of Graham Hancock? Alexandra, are you there?
No.
No? Okay.
not.
Graham Hancock, we've had him at the National Arts Club for several different sessions, and he's a very interesting guy, very smart.
Deep thinker.
Very deep thinker. He is a rebellious archaeologist. I think that's a good way to describe the guy, where the other archaeologists don't like him. They think, that he's just, all woo. But he thinks that they are just a bunch of sellouts that want to preserve their own way of the way that history is written. Where, according to him, there was an ancient civilization of Atlantis, or other civilizations, back then, before the Great Flood, and all civilizations have this flood myth. And you could even see it in the scablands in the upper United States and Canada area. Because the idea there is, if you have like, imagine a super advanced civilization that's usually going to be around the coastal regions. It gets wiped out by a giant cataclysm because of a meteor strike. And that's what he says, and there is, I think, enough things hinting at this being the possibility, like, again, these scablands that were formed from some kind of an impact on the ground in this area. So anyway, I believe it. I don't know. When it comes to all these things that people pass to each other, all these mythologies, like, I don't know. Where do you stand on mythology, Alexandra? Do you believe some of it? Do you think it's all bullshit?
Yeah, it's all bullshit, but that's okay, because it's real in a different sort of way. It's real in a way that, like, resides in the hearts of man. I believe in sort of not a strictly Jungarian, like, collective unconscious, but I do believe that, like, our shared human experience will kind of lead us to similar conclusions. And we all have, like, shared experiences just by the fact that we're bipedal mammals with, frontal cortexes that are thicker than any other kind of bipedal mammal, any other kind of creature on Earth. And so, like, we walk, we talk, we dream, we live. Like, it's just, it's part of, like, the fact that we tend to make stuff up, which is great. It helps us make sense of the world. So just because it didn't necessarily happen doesn't mean it's not valid or true. And we have records of civilizations being destroyed. Pompeii, that was a civilization, a beautiful civilization that was completely destroyed. Not a civilization, but it was like, a city, and it was a civilized city. Those people were just as, as sophisticated as we are. Really, they didn't have the same kind of technology, but they, they had the same sort of society. It was a hierarchical society. They had money. They had, trade. They had, like, art and culture. And it was wiped out by what would some say be an act of God.
Well, Graham Hancock has this idea that we are a species with amnesia.
Yeah,
that the view that you're talking about right now, it seems like it's the view of us going from, like, and I'm not saying, like, you gave credence to the, what was it, the volcano people. What was it? The Pokemon
Pompeii.
is just frying my brain, so you gotta help me out here.
Pompeii.
Pompeii, thank you. So you gave credence to the Pompeians for, not being that far away from us. But I still think that the worldview you're talking about here is more like starting from, more primitive cavemen and going up to smart, advanced us that are doing this Pokemon stream. But according to Graham Hancock, he sees it the other way around. Like, he sees human beings that would have existed back in this antediluvian time as being way more intelligent than us. And you could even look at some of the earlier skulls from the, there's a strange humming noise going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that
from.
humming's coming from.
That is very strange. But anyway, what is the name of the, those Cro-Magnons? That's it. If you look at a Cro-Magnon
I
skull,
love Magnums.
they're pretty cool, right?
Like your Neanderthal man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, even the Neanderthal man, they look kind of deformed. Meaning, I think that there may have been a Neanderthal
Yeah, like
man.
they're like their eyebrows are kind of
Yeah,
strange and their
No,
jaws are kind of weird.
They were very handsome. They looked like Native Americans.
I think
they're
it's-
really tall.
If we're talking about like the ribbies, the ribbies of the Neanderthals, they were just like all expanded out like that. It's not as harmonious as the ribbies of the human being, like the modern human.
Ribbies?
So, yeah, ribbies. I don't know, I call them ribbies. But anyway,
The
what
fuck?
what I'm trying to get at here, you don't like ribbies?
They're rich and pleasant.
That's a Tim and Eric thing. Tim and Eric, they call ribs ribbies for some reason. Ribbies, yeah, I like ribbies. But anyway, what I'm getting to here, Alexandra, is my view is completely different from yours. I respect it, but I personally think that we were like really fucking intelligent and that we had like secret technology that we don't know of today, and we fucked it all up and we had to start over. And I think this is what humanity goes through in a cyclical basis. We like get up to a high level and then we start over.
Very intelligent. Like the brain density of wild animals compared to domesticated animals is by like a fact. Like they're like twice as dense. It's something crazy. They're like 30% denser, and there's more neural connections. Once you do domesticate an animal, the brain becomes smaller and lighter, like almost immediately, and it takes it doesn't just go away. Like so, early humans, like Cro-Magnons, they had much bigger brains, and they were denser brains too. They were more robust. Probably because, like, back in the day, people were constantly getting their fucking skulls knocked, and so you needed the extra meat to compensate. But yeah,
I get what you're saying about the skulls. At the same time, my view on the skulls is that the Cro-Magnon skulls are also beautiful, and you don't really get that kind of beauty from just creating like an adaptation to not being knocked out. So when it comes to that kind of beauty, like, I don't know, I think we may picture Cro-Magnons in a different way. Like, I think you may be picturing them still like in a loincloth, while I'm picturing.
Hold on. I know what Cro-Magnons were. Like I said, again, they look like Native American crow. And they're not even called Cro-Magnons anymore. They're called something else.
Oh, there's a new woke
But
name for
Wong Kar-wai
Cro-Magnon.
gets it right, because Cro-Magnons were from Atlantis. See, this is what I'm trying to get at here.
What, is Atlantis canceled?
It's never going to be canceled for me.
Yeah, Atlantis is real, son.
What I'm trying to get at here, Alexandra, is that you may be imagining like primitive Cro-Magnons who are smarter than us, you could say, like, in the brain sense and being able to, figure out like where all the wild animals are and stuff like that. I'm not imagining that though. What I'm imagining when I talk about Cro-Magnons is like wizards who are living in Atlantis, who are able to genetically splice organic material into dwellings. That's what I imagine.
So Lev is a firm believer that, I would say, you think technology would look like magic to someone that never saw it before?
Yeah.
That's what they would think of it as?
And I also think that human beings came first. I mean, this is a very controversial thing to say, but I think the human body is like I think it was engineered. I think it was engineered to be by a higher power to be the way that it is, and that all the animal forms are like derivatives of the human form.
I think that's a very controversial position, actually. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty
if you go to
orthodox
the
religious to
Bible,
me.
that's it's a biblical interpretation of things, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Because the
Isn't it,
biblical interpretation of things
Or was the animals
is
there
that...
first and the garden?
No. Well, they talk about... I don't think they even talk about, like, how the animals came about. It was more like, hey, Adam, name these fucking animals. It's like, okay, it's a different situation than saying human beings are the prototype and they had to adjust through millions of years to their environment by devolving into, like, monkeys and then other animals along the way. And here we have our civilization today, where we keep these dogs on a leash, but when we look in the eye of the dog, there's actually a human being staring back at us. Like, that is a fucked up way to look at life, but I think it's very intriguing. I enjoy looking at things like that. Hey, we're finally at Misty. Here we go. We did it. Wait, that's not Misty.
I think this is
never mind.
Misty's junior trainer, so you got
Yes.
You gotta whoop her, and then you get to Misty.
Yeah, this is Misty's secretary. I
This
mean,
is
look,
Misty's buddy.
I trained Shankar to be pretty. I mean, look at this. This is why I trained Shankar.
Chonker's gonna dust this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
But-
I don't know.
Again, it's like Wong Kar-wai says, I think humans came from mixing monkeys with pigs, but then where did the monkeys come from? You know?
Where did the
Like,
pigs come from?
Exactly. Yes.
Sorry.
Everything has to come from somewhere.
And
Yeah.
here's another thing that needs credence.
It's natural selection over time. We go from like simpler forms to more complex ones.
No.
Well,
Why
that's what
should
one
we?
jabroni said, but
Why
yeah.
should we go from simple to complex? The idea is natural. No, the idea is natural selection. We naturally select for whatever is going to survive in the environment, not necessarily going from like something primitive to something advanced. You know?
Well, primitive is, I wouldn't use the word primitive. I would say you could like, okay, so say the brain of a koala is basically like a fucking slice of chicken breast. It's a
Sure.
mammal, but it's one of like the dumbest, like cognitively unsophisticated mammals on Earth. Okay, the ways that it got that, like it was through natural selection. Perhaps it evolved from an animal or a series of animals that had more brain folds and were smarter. But over time, it became less metabolically appropriate.
Oh no, I fucked
There
up.
goes Chonker.
I
Yeah,
fucked up.
Uh-oh.
to have complex brains, so it got simplified.
I would start with, I don't
Pecker
even
lips?
know. Yeah, Pecker Lips would probably be the move to go. What do you think of the name Pecker Lips, Alexandra? Is that a good name for a bird Pokemon?
It's not something I would name anything. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, because birds don't have lips.
Like a country fried version of DSLs.
Yeah,
Ew.
he's got Pecker Lips.
Ew.
Look at him, MVP with that 2 HP.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, buddy.
Well, here. Let's
Gonna
see.
swap in, because I
No,
feel like
no,
Boner
no,
King's gonna
no,
do
no,
no
no.
good here. Yeah.
Okay, Liv, are you
Quick
familiar
attack. Use the
with
quick attack.
Gerald Schroeder,
Oh shit! I should have used
the
quick
Science
attack.
of
You're
God?
right.
Oh man, Boner King's he's gonna get hit hard by that.
No, it's all right. It's all
Super
right.
effective. Scratching. Caw!
Wait, so your koala example?
Yeah, you were saying the koala bears don't have.
They don't have much in the way of brain folds.
Right.
It's like a chicken breast, and it has
All
like
they
a
know is eating, killing, being.
and that's it's like it was metabolically more appropriate for the koala to sort of devolve its brain, and
Yeah.
because it lives in a very harsh environment, it eats eucalyptus leaves, which are extremely hard to digest. It's one of the most like nutritionally like
That's
like,
not very
poor
effective.
sources of
Pounding.
Yeah, why
yeah,
Pounding.
calories out there, but it's just that what they ended up specializing in, because there wasn't any other creature that was going to eat eucalyptus leaves. And for various reasons, it's just the brain sort of became smoother and smoother over time. So that's just an example of like a complex system becoming more simplified.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like
So I'm right.
specialization and survival.
That is right.
Harsh environments.
I don't know if Sneederan is gonna do something. I don't know. My problem is more of this idea that the universe came to be, and that out of just like this, for some reason, this planet started having water. I mean, there was a meteor impact, and then it had water, and then out of that water just came the life for no reason at all. I don't know. Like that's the part.
There has to be some sort of reason. Everything. It doesn't. That would be so unsatisfactory to find out.
No, I'll
what's
give you
actually
my
so
reason.
just
I
random.
have an
So what?
explanation
Who
for
cares
it.
about human satisfaction? All right, like seriously.
Oh, I believe I do.
I do too.
I wanna
think
be
that this
satisfied.
universe is human-centric.
Too
I
bad.
believe that this
Too
is
bad,
this is
buddy.
for us. This is for us.
Yeah.
This is our loca. This is
Do you
our loca
think,
to experience
Exactly,
reality.
that's
in.
So you think existence is completely random and has no meaning at all, save what we
You're
choose to
expecting
impose?
to be satisfied by the universe, that it loves you and wants you to thrive and has a special kind of plan for you. I don't necessarily think that. I mean,
I feel like some sort of magic power has brought us all here together tonight to watch Pecker
Same
Lips
thing, yeah.
yeah, it's called the
absolutely
internet.
dominate.
It's called the internet.
Okay, here, Alexandra.
But the internet is such a wide range place. How could
Oh, I'm fucked. I'm fucked, aren't I? I'm fucked. Starmie. Okay.
Yeah,
See,
that was bad.
I'm
Pecker
fucked.
Lips. If you could get Pecker Lips out and hit with a quick attack, that'll do something. Yeah, Gunner Dude's gonna do no good here. Oh, this is gonna go bad. Bubble
Yeah.
Just watch it go.
Oh.
I mean, my fault was
man.
that I took out Chonker early.
Yep.
I mean, we still got Sneeder.
If you could have poisoned him, but he doesn't have poison. He just got the, like, he's just gonna keep rocking you with that bubble beam, son.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got double your level. It's over.
Yeah. If you could
There's
get
no will to
Pet
fight.
Your Lips with a quick attack, might do something to it, but it ain't gonna do. It's not gonna do as much damage as you want it to. Yeah. Oh wow, did that not do as much damage as you wanted it to?
Well, luckily the gym is right here.
Yeah.
Not the gym,
The training thing, yeah.
The pokey. The pokey's right here.
Yeah.
By the way, the pokey means prison in a certain slang. So, anyway, this should be a quick battle now. I'm gonna get that water badge. Let me see. Are there any attacks I want to give my Pikachu?
I would start off with the Pikachu.
Yeah.
Try to figure out what do we got here. See, I don't like how on this one, if you use the move, it's just gone. I think that was the one of the best
Thunder Wave.
Up with. I think he's already got Thunder Wave.
Oh, why don't I start with Thunder Wave then? That seems to be.
Yeah, Thunder Wave will paralyze him, which will give you a chance that they won't be able to attack.
Is Alexandra still here, by the way?
Yeah, she's still here.
Screen. Okay.
She's just being quiet.
Yes.
We've shunned her into silence now.
Thinking about how right I am about reverse evolution.
Universal
I mean, look,
fate and
here's
the universe having a plan for everything.
Here's my theory. My theory is that the universe came to being like it's described in Hinduism, where it's Brahma's breath. So Brahma breathed the universe out, and then will breathe the universe in. What I mean by Brahma's breath is, I think that there are various, how do I say it, that there are various levels to reality, some finer than others, and we are in a really solid level of reality.
So like a material plane.
Yeah, exactly, and then there are other planes up there, like the astral
like ethereal
plane. Yeah, exactly.
Sort of
the plane of thoughts, the plane of pure ideas, abstract symbols, things of that nature. And I think that the creation of the universe is one that goes from idea to a solidification of the idea, and we are in the solidification of the idea, and just like all of the light comes from one source, you know, all the light is initially from like the Big Bang, you could say, or whatever, like that same quality I would apply to our consciousness, that we are all aspects of each other that are just branched out and think that we are this individual thing. I know it's a very hippy-dippy way of looking about it, but I believe it.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that kind of take. Like, it feels like there's some sort of a pull. Like, you know, you can think of it as magic or mysticism or whatever you want to. Like, the things seem to fall into place. And maybe it is just a divine randomness, or maybe it is just randomness, like pure luck. But there is something going on.
About he was set up for a blind date by a friend of his, and he was supposed to meet them at some location, and he didn't get there on time, and this was like pre-cell phone, so he had no way of like getting in touch with them, and I think he was in the middle of like Boston or something, and so he decided that like there's some sort of, I forget what term he used, but there's some sort of rule of randomness where like if you're looking for something that is not two specific people, you know, you're more likely to find it.
That bubble beam was gnarly.
And he found his friend in his blind date at a donut shop, and then, you know, they got married, like, and they've been together for like 8 years.
Yeah, the thing about Boston is that there are a million Dunkin' Donuts everywhere.
Hold on, let me see. Like,
it's like every like 15, 20 feet, I felt like we were tripping over them.
Ah, fuck. Well, it wasn't a Dunkin'.
There was somewhere we went where it was literally across the street. It was a Dunkin' Donuts from a Dunkin' Donuts. I laughed my head off at that.
All right. Well, I don't know if it was in Boston. Maybe it was somewhere else. I don't know. Anyways, my food's here.
What are you eating? Well, we're gonna find out later when she comes back what she's eating.
I have once again ordered pizza, as my Ninja Turtle patrons would suggest.
Nice. Yeah, I miss pizza. I want to have some pizza as well. All right.
I feel like
I don't think I'm gonna win this battle. I really don't.
That's not good.
I mean, here,
yeah,
like,
lowering his defense is probably a good strategy. If we could, maybe next time we start with Boner King lowering the defense and then hit it with Chonker.
Yeah, I mean now
I feel like we're there. Like we could whoop this guy. It's just a matter of hitting the right combination.
Alright.
I feel like the water gun doesn't do anything. Pounding.
No, of course not.
Pounding.
Alright, I'm gonna see you guys later. It's dinner time.
All right, Alexandra.
All right.
What are you eating, by the way?
Adios,
what-
Alexandra.
Tofu.
What do you have? What was it?
Tofu. Tofu hot pot.
Tofu. Nice. All right, Alexandra. Take care. Have a good night. Thank you so much for coming in.
Of course, anytime.
Yep, it's been a delight.
All right. Oh. Look
Oh,
at
brother, look at that.
that. No, I mean it doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. I mean, you know. Yeah, it's like, what are we even doing here? What are we? I mean,
Yeah.
look.
The idea that we're all wanderers in one way or another, like that, I can believe that, but the idea that nothing has any meaning, nothing at all, like that.
Well, what do we even mean
Oof.
when we say meaning?
That's a good question.
Sneederand, it's all up to you.
I feel like, for me, I feel like I go through trying to find joy. Like I'll boil it down to that. I'm trying to find novelty. I'm seeking out joy and novelty in all things that I do, and that's where I'm at. I want to find. I've said this before. I want to spread laughter. I want everybody to laugh and enjoy life more because life's too short. Like there's too much sadness and sorrow. Like we need to have more fun. We need to have more laughs. We need to enjoy each other's company.
Definitely. And
I feel like who's Garlic Jr.?
Garlic Jr. Oh yeah, that's who I want. I want Garlic Jr.
Are they oddish or something?
No,
Paris.
Paris.
Oh, Paris. I don't know what kind of moves do they have. The leech life.
I think so, and also let me get rid of Sneederand. He's pretty weak right now, and instead I'm gonna withdraw. Who's Joe Fritzl?
That was the bug. That was the caterpillar.
Oh yeah, we don't need him. Let's see.
Because I feel like Gunnar Dude's not gonna get a whole lot. What's Jakob?
Jakob is the snake.
Okay.
Ekans. And
So I thought we were gonna
Ekans
name
has,
our
poison.
snake Trouser.
Oh man, that would have been a good one. But anyway, I'm gonna
I
go
just
in
happened
here.
to not be here when you caught Jakob.
Yes.
He's burned.
Wait. How do you? Oh right.
You gotta go. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so you're gonna. Well, wouldn't you want to hit? You want to knock the first one out with the lightning,
Well, I was thinking of.
poisoning them.
No. I mean, yeah. Then I'm gonna switch. I mean, my Pikachu could definitely take care of. There we go. Oh, and also, why didn't I get a potion, by the way? Why don't I buy some potions?
Yeah, that might be the move.
And I have a nugget. I can sell my nugget now. I can get a lot more bang for my buck. Let's see.
See, I feel like again the later Pokemon games, putting the healing shop and the item shop in the same spot is
Yes.
like maybe it aesthetically it doesn't makes the town seem a little smaller. Like it felt like towns were like two houses and the one stop for everything. But I feel like it's so much more convenient to play, to be able to just buy the Pokemon stuff at the same place you're healing the Pokemon.
Okay, nugget time. Oh, look at that. Now, when did you first play Pokemon? And Ustav, did you play Pokemon as well?
I was able to play it pretty early. My cousin had it for the Super Game Boy, and that was how we played through Pokemon. Pretty much doing the exact same thing we're doing here, where I wasn't actually physically playing, but I was on the team. Like we're there, and we played through. I want to say we played through almost the entire damn game on that Super Game Boy over the course of however many days and weeks that took. But we did that, and then I ended up getting a copy of Blue, and then through serendipity, like I had sold it to somebody, and I managed to get that copy back. Like it managed to fall back into my hands. It was like, oh my god, like this is how crazy is this? That this exact copy of Pokemon Blue that I've spent so many hours on and has found its way back into my hands. And it's one of those things that I feel like, well, this is probably worth more than gold to me. Like to anybody else, like, it's a Pokemon game. It has a certain value. But to me, I feel like, if you could wrap them up, wouldn't that stop them from attacking? It's not gonna do a
Well-
whole lot of damage, though, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, look, I probably made a mistake putting Yakub first. I should have went with Chonker. So,
Someone had
You
said
see that now.
yes, not a good move.
Only some bastard had spoke up.
I started playing with Gen 3. I played Sapphire on the GBA. And then after that, I went back to like emulators for Gen 3 and Gen 2. So I haven't really like kept up with any of the new stuff that they've done.
Yeah, I think like that first one that hit real hard. Gold and Silver hit real hard for our friend group, and then I feel like the Ruby and Sapphire was kind of out. Like I played through them, and then what was after that? Was it Diamond and Pearl? Was after that? Was that the next one's up?
I don't even know.
Because I feel like I circled back to Diamond, but I did that after the later ones. I didn't play the black and white ones. And James was going on and on about black and white and how great those were the other day. So perhaps I will take a look at the black and white Pokemon, but I don't know. I had heard that they were based more off of New York than Japan. Water Gun's no good against him.
Oh yeah, why do I keep going there? Okay, no, this is not why I want this Pokemon. The reason is now I
You
can
wanted
heal.
to have him tank a hit so you could heal Chonker.
Exactly, yeah.
Boom.
There you go.
Now we're strategizing.
Yes.
Could he tank 2 hits?
Of course he can. I
Come
bet he
Come
can
on,
take 3.
Princess. Princess. It's a critical.
Well, not if it's a crit.
Alright. We heal Chonker all the way.
Now we heal him all the way.
And
but
then
no,
we let
that's
him die. Then switch to Chonker and do
No,
his-
no,
and
not yet,
you-
not
you're
yet.
gonna switch to Peck.
Let's see.
Or you want to go with Boner King? What can Garlic Jr. do?
Let's see. I actually didn't know
You
what
have
he can
Leech
do.
Life, right?
I should have.
He's got
Motherfucker.
Scratch.
All right,
He's just
nice.
got Scratch.
No.
Oh
this-
boy, just
No,
Scratch.
this is good because now I can use a potion on Yakub.
There you
Correct
go.
my mistake.
I feel like Yakub, he's so
Oh
many
fuck,
levels
missed
down.
to use the X defend.
Oh boy.
No, that's okay because now I can go to Yakub. Or actually no, I'm gonna let this guy absorb the hit so that
Yeah,
the
try
turn
to,
is not wasted.
because I don't know if that X defend will wear out. Oh, 1 HP.
Keeps getting crits.
I don't know if that X defend wears off or not. I feel
Well,
like James
my
is a
plan
big
is
enough
to
nerd,
poison
he
this
would've
thing
known.
first.
All right.
Yeah, hit him with poison. And then we'll just
Oh,
start
better not
chipping
get
down.
one shot.
Uh-oh, she...
Ah.
Man. Poor old Yakub.
Alright, well, let's see.
Chonker him. Thunderwave. Thunderwave.
Oh, yeah.
Paralyze him first.
What the well, it's not Bubble Beam, though, so... it
Yeah, the
should-
bubble beam is the nasty one. Alright.
Wait, okay,
I
now...
would maybe heal.
Yeah, so...
I don't know if you want to change. Pecker Lips would be the one to sacrifice here because he's not going to do much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There we
God,
go.
This thing hitting criticals left and right.
I mean, I should have probably leveled up my Pokemons before I, oh, whatever.
Yeah. I feel like if we don't get it this time, we're going to have to level these bastards
Yeah.
up because it's just
Go and grind him, yeah.
it's just not going well.
So, Lev, I think you might be interested in Gerald Schroeder, this guy who did like a Kabbalistic reading of Genesis 1. And he basically figured out a way to reconcile the 7 days of creation with the like 16 billion year time span of a naturalist viewpoint.
Critical hit, son. Man.
Well, I think this
Throw
is...
out the Boner King, see what happens.
Yeah.
The fire's not going to be any good, so hit him with, you're going to have to scratch him.
Yeah, just scratch. If you get lucky paralyzes, then, you know.
Yeah, because he's paralyzed, so he might get lucky. He might start
Ooh.
hitting with tackles. Ooh.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Live.
Hey,
Critical hit, critical hit, critical hit, critical.
Yeah!
Oh,
Fuck you,
shakalaka!
Misty!
Oh, I made that happen. Shamanistic power, son. Right there it was.
incredible.
Alright,
Boom.
Rage. Is that a good move, Rage? I
I
forget.
don't know what the rage does. I don't recall. I want to say I would get rid of like a growl.
Yeah, growl
Yeah,
sucks.
Growl's
That's like
kinda shit.
it's the most like weak ass move. This doesn't even tell you what the moves do they? It's just like, yeah, replace the move or lose this move forever.
There we go. I got the cascade.
Boom.
Why is it called cascade, by the way? What does the word cascade have to do with water? I just don't remember.
I guess water cascading off of something.
Yeah, I guess so.
That'd be
Well-
the only thought that I have.
Well, this is it. This is the end. This is gonna be the end of the stream because I do have to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I do have to. What's T? Oh, bubble beam. That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I should teach that to. I'm probably not gonna use Clefable after this.
Yeah.
So.
Because I feel like we'll get. Usually, my strategy was to get the Magikarp, level his ass up, get the Gyarados, and
Doesn't
then that guy.
Gyarados learn bubble
Philip
beam?
Pan-
I think
Daniel
he
just
could
showed
learn a
back
bubble
up.
beam. Yeah, I feel like a Gyarados is a pretty nasty water guy.
He
Yeah.
already gets Hyper Beam though too, right?
Yeah, but that's kind of a hit and miss.
Right, that's a whole
Yeah.
different move though. That's was that a normal type move? Is a Hyper Beam a normal type?
I thought it was. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. It's been a
I
while.
don't know. It's been, brother. It's been 20 years since I played this particular Pokemon. I feel
Well, here we go, guys. This is the end. I gotta go right now. I gotta
end.
eat. This is the end. Let me just save the save state as well. But this is good. We actually advanced
Yeah.
to beating. I was so. I thought we wouldn't do it. I thought we would not be.
I had
able
to.
to.
You
It
had
was a
to. You
last
had the
minute
power
clutch.
of will. You had to have the power of luck. You had to
Absolutely.
will
The
things.
power of love. You
Yes.
remember the power of love?
Yeah.
So that's what we have.
Like
Okay.
I started chanting it and it happened, brother. Like you make
Absolutely.
reality happen. Like I'm
Absolutely.
chanting for pizza now. I can feel it coming.
All right, guys, that's it. If you have not subscribed, keep subscribing. Subscribe right now. This is the end of the stream. I am going to close this thing right up. I just had to find how to close it. I'm not exactly sure. This is a new thing for me here. Okay, your channel. Yeah, we had a bit of a hiccup because I forgot to turn the proxy thing on. But anyway, over here, hold on, custom manage videos. Here we go. Dashboard. And by the way, subscribe also to Charles Khan, Masked Bastard on Twitter,
Yep.
and
I
Ostov.
post memes
Subscribe to
every
Hopeful,
hour,
Hopeful
brother.
Abandon.
Yeah,
and
it was
all the
fun.
great,
Every
great
hour
people we
on the
have.
hour, you'll find something from Charlie. And
So here we
always
go.
try to bring the heat.
Dun 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 dun. Dun. Yeah, you guys don't hear it, but it's there. Here, okay.
I believe you.
All right, end stream. Wait, why is it?
And stream.
Charles, you remind me of 718 TV
All right, take
with
care.
your mask
So
motif.
if I told you that 718 TV was one of the guys I played Dungeons and Dragons with, would you believe me?
I would absolutely believe you.
Yeah, he is. I met him
Shout-
through shit posting in. He says it was Mr. Mediker post. I had said something goofy there, but we had just happened to run into one another and be like, "Oh, this guy seems like fun."
Well, he was here yesterday. Yesterday he was on
I
the
tuned in
art
for a
stream.
bit. I got to listen to a bit
Yeah.
while I was doing something else. I couldn't really call in, but
Yeah, everybody shout out to Stained Haynes,
Yeah.
718 TV. And here, let me put your Twitters in here as well. So, Ostov,
my brother
so right
from
before
another
we
mother.
go,
I love him. He's a dear friend.
let's
Yeah,
see,
he's a good
Ostov.
guy.
Salt of the earth. I feel like and finding out that him and James had actually hung out together. They were Mario Party buddies. They have some kind of James has some sort of Mario Party night, and Stain was able to attend once.
And
It's all
James was the
connected.
one who, and James was the one who introduced me to Stained.
Yeah,
He was the one who recommended that
it's like the whole world just circles around itself.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
like it was
indeed.
meant to be.
It's like Freemasonry, conspiracy, except it's between
Yeah, we need
shit posters
break
on the
ring
internet.
rules. That's what break the rules rings. That's what we need. Like our own Templar rings.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows
And when
each
we
other
blow
through
into
something.
them, it'll make a whooshing noise like on The Simpsons.
And let's see, I think I got some notification there. Either somebody subscribed or something happened, but why don't I see a notification here? Small zoom window, BTR chat, Pokemon list.
Oh,
I'm
all
trying to
right,
see
boys.
where
I'm
this
getting tired of
fucking
wearing
thing-
this.
okay.
mask.
All right, I'm gonna figure this out. Anyway, guys,
Or peel this
take
thing
care.
off.
This was great. This is a great
Adios,
stream.
everybody.
Take care,
Take care.
everybody. Bye bye.
Night.
Hold on, I haven't shut this off